Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Precious Metal Summit here in Zurich. And now we are after the lunch break, and we will continue with Luke Alexander, the CEO of Newcore Gold. Luke, great to see you again.
Yeah,
Long
great
time.
to see you. Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, thank you very much. You must smile all the time, I would say, because with that gold price and that silver price, things go much, much easier. So Newcore Gold, what's the company about? Because I'm not sure, but I think you are the first time here with Commodity TV.
Yeah, I believe so. So thank you very much for having us. So Newcore Gold, we're advancing the Enchi project in Ghana. It's a district scale exploration project that's fundamentally underpinned by very robust economics that we outlined in a PEA in 2024. We're now in the process of taking it from a PEA to a PFS, and we think that's going to create a real fundamental re-rate for shareholders. We're also at the same time drilling 45,000 meters to go after some of that district scale exploration that we've got across our project. I think it's also important to highlight for Newcore, we are aligned with shareholders. Management and board, we own 15% of the company. We also have 55% institutional ownership. So these are long-term focused mining and precious metals investors who recognize the upside potential in the company. And yes, we are enjoying the precious metals environment today.
Absolutely. Well, you are not yet in production, but you're on the path to. I personally love Ghana. It's really fantastic. I know the Namdini project from former years, which was very successful. And when you say PEA you have and you're working on the pre-feasibility, then can you give us some numbers from the PEA already?
Yeah, so if you look at our PEA that we put out in 2024, it outlined a very simple open pit heap leach operation. If we look at it using a $3,000 gold price, which I think
conservative today,
tell me is conservative. If you look at a conservative $3,000 gold price, you're looking at an after-tax NPV of $970 million. After-tax IRR of 136%, about a half-year payback, and that's driven by 122,000 ounces of production over a 9-year mine life. One of the key things that drives the economics is the low capex required for a heap leach operation.
How much is it?
It's about $110 million, $106 million is the capex. When you compare that to our share market cap today, our share price market cap, we're trading at about $125 million US today. So we trade at about 0.1 to 0.15 times the NPV of the project. And we see the opportunity to take it from PEA to PFS and create a real fundamental re-rate for shareholders through that process of de-risking it. But then, as I mentioned earlier, we are focused on district scale exploration at the same time, which we think can then create outsized returns beyond that fundamental re-rate.
Okay, let's focus more on the production development, I would call it. Yeah. So what is really needed that you can do the production decision? First of all, money-wise, do you have that? And secondly, time-wise.
So from a cash perspective, we're very well positioned. We currently have $10 million in the bank. We also have an additional $10 million that will come in from warrants that have an exercise price of 50 cents. So assuming the market stays robust, then that additional capital will come in. We don't need that additional capital to complete our PFS or our 45,000 meters of drilling. What that additional capital would do would allow us to start to work on the full feasibility study as well as additional drilling on the project. So in terms of what we need to do to kind of take it to production, which I think was your ultimate question. So obviously taking it from PEA to PFS is something we're working on at the moment. So de-risking it through that stage. We would then look to complete a full feasibility study, look to get the project financing in place, and then look to start construction in 2028. So
2028.
That's the timeline to take us from where we are today to ultimately a construction decision.
Okay, so that would mean construction maybe 1 or 2 years, so 2030 latest you would be in production.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at our PEA, it had a 15-month build, so that would put you into that 2029.
Okay, super. That sounds like a game plan, I would say. Ghana is, to me, still, one of the #1 states in Africa, definitely also for gold production, very famous. How is it these days? Because when we look around Burkina Faso, Cote d'Ivoire, Mali, not so easy, Niger with the uranium stuff, But how is Ghana these days? Are there any effects, or is that still stable and everything clean and clear?
Yeah, so Ghana has been a very stable jurisdiction for a number of years. If you go look at any of the groups who monitor countries from a safety perspective, from a free and fair election perspective, Ghana always ranks as one of the top jurisdictions in Africa. The other thing that we always highlight to investors to give them comfort, and me as an investor in Ghana and in our Enchi project, that gives me comfort, is the fact that you've got 4 of the top 10 largest gold producers on the planet with significant operations in Ghana. You've got Newmont, who's invested another $1 billion into their Ahafo project, which sits just to the north of us on the Sefwi-Bibiani belt. You know, Newmont, the largest gold company on the planet, for them to make that kind of investment and highlight that, you know, Ghana and their Ahafo project is a cornerstone asset within their entire portfolio, I think highlights, you know, what a tier 1 jurisdiction it is to be operating in. And again, we're very fortunate to have arrived in Ghana when we did and put together the package of assets that we have.
Okay, super. How much money do you think you might need until you can do the production decision? Because you have 10 million now in the bank.
We have 10 million in the bank today. That covers us for our 45,000 meters of drilling, which is ongoing. We then are covered for our PFS work on the project. We then have that additional 10 million that we expect will come in, which would then allow us to, start on the feasibility study, expand our drill program. So we're covered well through 2026.
That's fantastic. Super. Luke, thank you very much. We wish you well. Please bring it in production, because that would be for you and your shareholders perfect, but also for Ghana, I could imagine, because they love to have that too.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one of the great things about Ghana is there's a tremendous amount of support from the government to move these projects into production. You know, if you look at our project, it's one of the 2 most advanced stage projects in the country. So we've got a tremendous amount of support from the government as well, which is a great thing.
Super, fantastic. Thank you very much. All the best.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that was Luke Alexander, the CEO of Newcore Gold. And you heard it. This would be the next gold producer then in Ghana. And by 2029, that really could happen. And I think it looks really good that this will happen. And I must say, those numbers already in the PEA look fantastic. And I could imagine even now with gold over 4,000 and they were calculating with 3,000, that looks even better. So you really should check out that wonderful company. Thanks for watching us, and bye-bye from Precious Metal Summit Zurich.